Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a clear lake at sunrise. The water is calm, reflecting the sky perfectly. Now imagine throwing stones into that lake all day long. The surface becomes disturbed, cloudy, and restless. This is what happens to the mind when it becomes filled with toxic thoughts. Many people believe that their thoughts are who they are, but thoughts are like passing clouds. They come, they stay for a while, and then they leave. The problem begins when we hold onto the dark ones. We replay old mistakes, worry about the future, compare ourselves to others, and carry anger long after the moment has passed. These thoughts slowly poison our inner world. To flush out toxic thoughts, the first step is awareness. You cannot clean a room while pretending the mess does not exist. Observe your thoughts without fighting them. When negativity appears, simply notice it. Say to yourself, "This is a thought, not a fact." In that moment, you create space between yourself and the noise in your mind. The second step is letting go. Holding onto resentment is like carrying a heavy stone on a long journey. The stone does not hurt the person who offended you. It only exhausts you. Release what no longer serves your peace. Forgiveness is not about approving what happened. It is about freeing your own heart. The third step is feeding the mind with better nourishment. Just as the body becomes stronger through healthy food, the mind becomes healthier through gratitude, kindness, and meaningful reflection. Spend a few minutes each day appreciating what is already present in your life. A grateful mind has little room for toxic thinking. Silence is another powerful medicine. In a world full of constant noise, the mind rarely gets a chance to rest. Sit quietly for a few moments every day. Watch your breath. Feel the air enter and leave your body. This simple practice helps reset the brain and brings clarity to thoughts that once seemed overwhelming. Remember, a peaceful mind is not a mind with no thoughts. It is a mind that is no longer controlled by them. Every day offers a new opportunity to begin again. You do not need to carry yesterday's fears into today. You do not need to relive old wounds. The present moment is always fresh, always waiting. When toxic thoughts arise, do not battle them. Let them pass like leaves floating down a river. Return your attention to this moment, this breath, this life. The more often you do this, the clearer your mind becomes. A clean mind creates a clear life. And when the mind is clear, peace is no longer something you search for. It becomes something you live. Recognize toxic thoughts without identifying with them. Understand that thoughts are temporary mental events, not your true identity. Observe negative thoughts without judgment or attachment. Most people spend their lives believing every thought that enters their mind. When a negative idea appears, they immediately accept it as truth. If the mind says, "I am not good enough," they believe it. If it says, "Something bad will happen," they become anxious Yet thoughts are not facts. They are simply mental events that rise and fall, much like clouds drifting across the sky. The first step toward freedom is learning to observe thoughts without becoming attached to them. Imagine sitting beside a river and watching leaves float past on the water. You do not chase them, and you do not try to stop them. You simply watch. Thoughts can be treated in the same way. When a toxic thought appears, there is no need to fight it or suppress it. Simply notice its presence, acknowledge it, and allow it to pass. The moment you observe a thought, rather than react to it, you create space between your awareness and the thought itself. Practice letting go of resentment and past pain. Release anger, regret, and old wounds that drain your energy. Forgiveness and acceptance help free the mind from emotional burdens. Many people carry emotional burdens for years without realizing how much they weigh on the mind. A harsh word spoken long ago, a betrayal, a disappointment, or a personal failure can remain alive in memory. Long after the event has ended, the mind revisits these moments repeatedly, replaying them like an endless story. Each time this happens, the pain is renewed. Holding on to resentment and regret is similar to carrying a heavy stone during a long journey. The farther you walk, the more exhausting it becomes. Letting go does not mean forgetting what happened or pretending that the pain was not real. It means choosing not to allow the past to control the present. When you cling to anger, you remain connected to the source of your suffering. The event may be over, but the emotional wound continues, because it is being fed by constant attention. True freedom begins when you stop reliving what cannot be changed. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It is not approval of harmful actions, nor is it weakness. It is a gift you give yourself. By releasing bitterness, you reclaim the energy that was trapped in old pain. Acceptance works in the same way. Some things happen differently than you wished, but resisting reality only creates more suffering. The moment you loosen your grip on the past, your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, and peace has room to grow. Replace negativity with gratitude and positive reflection. Nourish the mind with appreciation, kindness, and constructive thinking. A grateful mindset naturally reduces toxic thought patterns. The mind is constantly being fed, just as the body is. Every conversation, every piece of information, every memory, and every thought becomes part of your inner world. If you continuously feed your mind with negativity, criticism, fear, and comparison, it will naturally become restless and unhappy, in the same way that unhealthy food can weaken the body. Unhealthy mental habits can weaken the spirit. This is why it is important to choose carefully what you allow to occupy your attention. One of the most powerful ways to nourish the mind is through gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. Instead of dwelling on problems, you begin to notice blessings that were previously overlooked. Even small things, such as a peaceful morning, a supportive friend, or the ability to take a deep breath, can become sources of appreciation. Over time, this practice trains the mind to seek abundance rather than lack. Kindness is another form of mental nourishment. When you act with compassion toward others, you create a sense of connection and warmth within yourself. Positive reflection also plays an important role. Rather than repeatedly focusing on failures, reflect on lessons learned, growth achieved, and opportunities ahead. A mind that is regularly nourished with gratitude, kindness, and constructive thoughts becomes more resilient. Toxic thinking gradually loses its influence, and a deeper sense of peace, balance, and contentment begins to emerge naturally. Use silence and mindful breathing to reset the brain. Spend time in quiet reflection and focus on your breath. This calms mental noise, improves clarity, and restores inner balance. In today's fast-paced world, silence has become rare. Many people wake up and immediately fill their minds with notifications, conversations, news, and endless streams of information. From morning until night, the brain is constantly processing something. While the mind is capable of handling a great deal of activity, it also needs periods of rest and stillness. Without these moments of quiet, mental fatigue begins to build, making it harder to think clearly, manage emotions, and maintain inner peace. Silence acts as a form of medicine for an overworked mind. When you intentionally step away from noise and distraction, you create an opportunity for the brain to reset itself. One of the simplest ways to do this is through mindful breathing. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you wish, and gently focus on your breath. Notice the air entering and leaving your body. There is no need to force anything or achieve a special state. Simply observe each breath as it comes and goes. At first, the mind may wander frequently. Thoughts, memories, and worries may arise. This is completely natural. Each time you notice your attention drifting, gently return it to your breath. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm and present. The mental clutter begins to settle, much like muddy water becoming clear when left undisturbed. Through regular moments of silence and mindful breathing, clarity increases, stress decreases, and the mind gradually regains its natural sense of balance and peace. Live in the present moment instead of dwelling on the past or future. Avoid carrying yesterday's mistakes and tomorrow's worries. Returning attention to the present creates peace, mental clarity, and emotional freedom. Many people spend a large portion of their lives trapped between the past and the future. They replay old mistakes, regrets, and disappointments, while simultaneously worrying about problems that have not yet happened. As a result, they miss the only moment that truly belongs to them, the present. The mind becomes exhausted from carrying memories of yesterday and fears about tomorrow. Yet neither the past nor the future can be changed in this moment. Only the present is alive and available. Living in the present does not mean ignoring responsibilities or forgetting important lessons from the past. It means giving your full attention to what is happening right now, instead of allowing your mind to be consumed by things beyond your control. When you focus on the present moment, you begin to experience life more deeply. Simple activities, such as walking, eating, listening, or breathing, become opportunities for awareness and peace.